Hi, good evening. This is Vivian, and today is Monday, July the 20th. Wow, July is flying by, right? And we are still reviewing this book, A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Courage, and Wisdom by Cindy Spiegel. And what did we talk about last night? You know, that four-letter word, fear, and letting go of fear. And because fear is really it's a false emotion because it scares you, but it's really not anything that's real. Most of the time, fear is something we make up in our head. We're fearing something that hasn't even happened yet. And if you start thinking about fear as one of those things that, um, that's like fake, you will rise or run, right? So you can forget everything and run, or what is it? Forgive everything and rise. Just rise. It's okay. Rise up. Fear, yeah. Don't let it stop you. Okay. So tonight we're talking about loneliness. You are not alone. And I'm going to read the anecdote and then we'll talk about it. How about that? All right. Even during your darkest times, know that you are not alone. You've never been alone. You are loved and you've always been loved. You are needed, you have purpose, and you matter. Yeah. So this topic really came in handy. Just say it that way for me today. And I'll tell you why. So my daughter and my son-in-law typically come to my house or I go to their house for Sunday dinner. Well, for the last 3 weeks, they haven't shown up. And so yesterday I was feeling a little put out about that, right? And then I started feeling lonely and so, oh, I don't have anybody, blah, 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 blah. You know, that those whole old feelings coming up. So this was a message that I needed to hear for myself because those old feelings start creeping in yesterday. And let me just tell you a story as to how deep those feelings can get. So this is about me. So I'm going to tell you, and then I'm kind of related to the topic. So last year, I ended a relationship with a man I'd been with for 10 years. And the last year we were together, we were not very harmonious. And it just finally culminated into separation ways. We just separated. After this breakup, I had this really overwhelming feeling of dread that I would be alone for the rest of my life because, most of my adult life, I've been in some type of relationship, right? And so I've never been without companionship for very long. I went on, I started going on dating sites, and I put my profile up and I waited for contacts and all this kind of stuff. And I ran into some interesting characters, to say the least, and making my search for Mr. Right, until I finally just said, you know what, to heck with this, I'm not doing this. I gave up on it because, for one thing, my feelings got hurt. My feelings and my pride got hurt because I found out that the one guy that I was talking to, who I thought was, had prospects and possibilities, turned out to be a scammer. And I didn't actually get scammed, but he ended up asking me for money and all that kind of stuff. And I said, cut that off, right? So that was a lesson. That was a lesson learned in chasing after what I thought I needed. And after that, though, I started falling into a kind of depression. I was thinking I wasn't worthy of love because I didn't have it. And after all, after all of that, I found a program online that was promoting meditation and personal development and everything. And I just kind of jumped on that. I really jumped on it because I needed something to help me to maneuver through these things, these feelings of loneliness. And so through the studying and meditation and personal development, I found that I really wasn't alone. I was never alone. I never had been alone. I always had me. I had to stop looking for love outside of myself and just start loving me. And this way I stopped feeling lonely and thinking of myself as being alone because I really never was. I had me, I had God, I had my family, but I wasn't looking at the family, in that way because I was looking for a different type of relationship, that other person in my life. But, I always had my family. I always had God. I always had me. So I was never alone. And what I needed to find was a purpose. And so, I know that sometimes those feelings of loneliness are still going to creep in, because I'm by myself, right? But I can look deep inside myself and reach out for support if I need it. I don't have to sit here and wallow in it. Like it was starting to creep in yesterday because, my family didn't show up and I was like, oh, they don't love me. Yeah, those crazy feelings or those crazy emotions. So it wasn't that. It was that I wasn't in the right mindset. I was never alone. My family still loves me. I still love them. All of that. And I always had my family, but I was, kind of overlooking that because I want that other type of relationship. So when you feel like you're alone or lonely, call a friend, call your family, reach out to a counselor even, or just look inside yourself and you can be your own best friend. Do stuff, treat yourself with the dignity and respect you deserve because you do deserve it. It doesn't matter that whoever that other person is that you're looking for, they'll show up when you really are ready for it. And that's what I had to learn myself is that I really wasn't ready for a relationship. I just got out of one, right? I just ended a relationship, but I thought I needed to be with someone, which wasn't the case. I didn't need to be with someone. I needed to be with me. I needed to start loving myself enough to know that I could be with me. And so, if that's the case with you and you're feeling lonely or sad or whatever because you're by yourself, don't. There's always somebody out there to that you can be with. Join a Facebook group. Talk to other people. It's and not to complain about being lonely, but to just talk to people. Just have a chat or something. Have a conversation with someone, something fun, something, loosey goosey or whatever you want to call it, and just be you, And then as you find what your purpose in life, and I know this is a cliche term, but, sometimes you can find something that's bigger than your loneliness, right? So if you um, find a purpose or a goal that you want to reach, all of a sudden all those lonely feelings are not as prevalent as they used to be. Yes, I admit sometimes they still come back, kind of like yesterday, but they don't last long because you have another purpose in life and that that you love yourself enough that you can be alone with yourself. So you're not alone because, whether you believe in God or not, I do, but God's always with you. Whether you believe it or not, He's always with you. And so, think about that when you're having those types of feelings. So, say these things to yourself. You know, I am enough. I matter. I am loved. I have always been loved. I have a purpose and I am not ever alone, and that's what I'm focusing on these days when I start to feel lonely. I remember that I do have a purpose. I am enough. And when that perfect person comes along for me, then I will know it. And that'll be that, right? So, just think about when you start feeling lonely, you're really not. I'll be here for you. You can come hang out with me. All right. So that's all I have to say about that. And so, we want to be thankful every day. And these are repetitive, some of them anyway. I kind of add some new stuff in every once in a while, but you know, most of the things are repetitive. The first one definitely is, I'm thankful for my children and my grandchildren always. I'm thankful that I stepped out on faith today and I walked an extra quarter mile in the rain. It was so cool because the sky just opened up, on that last few steps and the last quarter mile actually. It was just raining, but it felt so good because I'd been walking for 8 miles and it was hot. So the rain actually, even though it was coming down in pretty good sheets, it felt really good. So I'm thankful for the many contacts I'm receiving, even if, again, none of them are for business. Well, one of them was for business purposes. I actually had an opportunity today to have a little training session with someone, which was very nice, and I really get joy out of that. That I'm just really grateful for that, and I'm thankful that I have realized my purpose, and I'm exploring ways to use it to help other people. And I'm very thankful for my online family and also my blood family. I'm thankful that I know exactly where I want to go, even if I don't know how I'm going to get there just yet. I'm working on it. I have a plan. I'm niching it down to the very last all the little steps that I need to take. So I'll get there. I'm thankful that I am earning $50,000 per day in pure profit uh, from multiple sources on a continuous basis by July 31st, 2020, through my work in marketing and personal development. Uh, I am thankful that the world is healed from COVID-19 and healed of hate and conspiracy theorists who spread that hate. I am thankful that I have the opportunity to spread joy and inspiration to people, even if the numbers are few right now. I am thankful for you, my listeners, and your continued patronage on my channel. And I hope you continue to show up and like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bring somebody with you next time. And I'll talk to you later. So in the meantime, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. But in the meantime, I wish you peace. I wish you love. And I love you guys so much. Thanks again for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.